Alright people, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you'll know when I upload the next video and you'll be supporting my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Every time I upload a new video, I'll be tweeting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rex and this is The Gods of Brazil, Crusader Kings 3 by the channel max0r. Yeah, I did the Crusader Kings 2 review from Sets and Tech, and that game is ridiculous. All the events that happen feels like how the fuck developers thought of all that, because it's just it's just some next level shit. I remember, Seth creating something like I don't know what are it called, hoof or something. He just created a horse and gave it some position or something. I don't know. The whole thing was so ridiculous. I'm like, damn, the developers went crazy with this one. And this is, I guess, the third installment of that, Crusader Kings 3. Okay. And max0r is making, I don't know if this is a review, incorrect summary, because it doesn't say what it is, but I guess it's gonna be fun. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. Check out the reaction today, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards, and yeah, let's watch it.
Crusader Kings 3 is a game that's played by YouTubers all the time. But if you're new to Crusader Kings 3 or simply a grizzled veteran, please allow me to set the record straight. This game is a complicated, multifaceted example of why we should never allow computer intelligence to attain sentience or even affect the real world in any meaningful way. It is a character-based territory strategy game dealing with the complicated systems of feudalism, but specializing in the production of garbage. Only in a cursed world of digital abstraction does any system believe that this is okay, and the only way to describe to you the depth of chaos which occurs in this bedeviled software is to describe to you the experiences of which you are capable. Everything that you can do, the AI can also do, probably worse. So keep that in mind as I delve into the full range of absurdity and death present within the early medieval world. Our story begins in the world of 867, the Viking Age, as the humble Count Hastane of Montaigu. Count Hastane would aspire to nothing and be insignificant if he did not have slightly less soldiers than the entirety of the Byzantine Empire. And Hastane has determined, probabilistically, that God is not merciful, and has come to destroy all those who call themselves Italian. Alright, so Italy looks like this now. We rank up like a Pokemon and begin sorting out our court. One day while at a feast, a man named Count Cadulto passed by the king and asked him if he could partake of some ice cream. The king, feeling cheeky and protective of his supply, retorted that Cadulto could only have a spoonful. At which point, Cadulto pulled out a comically oversized spoon, and the king determined right then and there that he must die, in exchange for the death of the serial cream thief. The Pope of Christianity sought an alliance with a pagan conqueror who destroyed Italy. Conqueror who
To the imperial has despite our lack of bond by blood, I believe we both stand to gain from an alliance. I promise that we join forces, fight our foes together. Look, I know sometimes max0r's summary or whatever the story that he creates feels ridiculous, but I know Crusader Kings has such a ridiculous storyline that maybe max0r is speaking the truth. All this story is literally part of the game. That's why I'm reading this.
Conqueror who destroyed Italy. Cadulto was just that much of an asshole, I guess. Jesus. King Charles of France, hearing of the death of his close friend Cadulto, composes some slam poetry. But it was so bad that he literally lost prestige points.
I've just learned that King Charles has written a slanderous poem. See, I knew it. This is real. In an attempt to mock me for it. However, his poem is so poorly written that everyone has instead been mocking Charles for wasting good paper on. Oh my god, this games, all these Crusader games are so good, because every time you play a game like this, you always expect some kind of generic story. I don't know if this is computer generated type of thing, that I guess they created so many storylines, just I guess mashed them together that with certain script, every time you play this new kind of story that pops up. Because the Sets and Tech review of Crusader Kings 2 gave me this idea that all the stories are kind of unique every time you play it, and it's so ridiculous, right? How the events unfold. Obviously your accents kind of dictates how story is gonna I guess lead towards, but look at this poem thing.
by writing it. So he attempts to fucking murder me. What? It's poetry, dude. Calm down. Also, there is a minor risk of a Catholic rebellion. I guess they don't like Odin. And when they do rebel, not only do they demand my conversion, but also that I become Italian. This is not an option. On second thought, I'm fine with the Christianity, just no pizza, dude, please. With a new religion comes a new title and a new kingdom, the Kingdom of Brazil. For if you shall not come to Brazil, Brazil will come to you. If you will not put Brazil in your grand strategy game, then I guess I will have to resort to drastic measures. Okay, so they killed me. The saga of the boy King Einar begins with a tale at court. During a feast, a man known as Count Cadulto II suddenly springs forth, bringing the king a pie. Excited, the young king demands to know the flavor of the pie. However, Count Cadulto II simply responds with pie several times over again. Minorly annoyed, the noble king responds by informing Count Cadulto II that he is hungry, to which Count Cadulto responds in a most disturbing of ways. First waving to the king, and then making a pun. "Hi, hungry. I'm dad," he says. With this, Count Cadulto has admitted that he is the illegitimate father of the king, and is therefore summarily executed the next day for the crime of fornication. As thanks for the destruction of the great fornicator, the Pope decides to invite me to a cool day trip to the city of Jerusalem. So we raise our arm.
I'm sorry, I have to read
Pope
this shit.
decides.
A papal envoy has reached my court bringing news from the Vatican. Pontificate is to call to arms to all righteous Christians, the Catholic King, expert, to all those who will take vile infidels.
To invite me to a cool day trip to the city of Jerusalem. So we raise our armies and watch as he stands around for no reason. And with great zeal, we finally arrive to the Holy Land and get our assholes sent to another dimension. Yeah, you guys have fun with the rest of Crusade. I'll be supporting you all from the sidelines. Good luck. I don't know, just like spaz out like a bunch of ants or something. It'll be funny. Then the Pope just like commits fornication while in the middle of a crusade, invalidating the entire reason for going. He's fucking 79. Women. And as a result, by the end of the failed crusade, we had chopped his arm off. Around the king only seemed to reside darkness and despair as he watched helplessly as the Pope was invaded by some random guy and we couldn't help him. I don't know why. I decide instead to take the territory for myself, but not give it back to the Pope in order to protect the women of the province. This causes like half of the Christian world to start losing faith in the Pope, including myself, and turning to strange heresies. This includes Adamitism, where the adherents are anarcho-primitivists who wear no clothes. Which begs the question, there are children in this game, but even amidst such terror and destruction, light may yet come into my life. A beautiful son is born to me, and his name is Jair Bolsonaro. It has been over 60 since my father had created the most holiest of faiths and destroyed the fornicators of Rome. To be Brazilian is not simply nationality, but ideology, a manifestation of the soul and the destruction of the sinner. And though my father was just and he was brave, though he kept the commandments and stayed his course, he was not Brazilian enough, and so I slayed him. The commandments.
One thing I'm gonna give to max0r, right? I mean, Seth is literally untouchable with what kind of a comedy he does, but max0r has his own thing, right? He just takes something and I don't know, attach it to something like Brazil, like he's talking about here, and make this whole thing that is ridiculous.
Are written, and they are just marrying your sister and legally being permitted to eat her, owning a harem comprised of your sisters, legalized witchcraft and murder, and worst of all, women can participate in society, and I didn't have to fucking cheat to do it. You may wonder to me, how be this a Christian religion? But I say to thee, it is not but Brazilian. I have fought 1,000 wars for purity in 1,000 places, and yet the world still smells of sin. Our ways must be brought to others for the salvation of mankind. And so the king, like his grandfather before him, would be known as a great destroyer. His grandfather, the realm of Italy, and his father the religion of Italy. So it is with him. the destroyer of the French. He plunged his sword into more and more men, and yet not enough sin was to be cleansed. The beleaguered boy, King of France, for all that he was worth, was unable to resist. Even after the video game deleted like half of all French culture because a Norse character conquered it, I'm serious, that actually happened, it was still not enough for Jair. Never enough for Jair. Have you ever made a god before? It truly is not as difficult as one would think. A long time ago, a pharaoh had done it, and a long time ago, a man like you had done it. King Jair had made a great folly when he had done it as well. For of all the stars in the sky, there may only be one sun. And through the grace of God had he built the great Brazil. But Brazil was never to be the equal to God. And so shall we bring a lullaby for our sin.
Oh God, this is a nightmare.
May the slate be wiped clean.
What happened to max0r? At the middle of the video, max0r just lost his shit. Just went to this nightmare mode.
For another world, another time, that men may know, if only for a little while, a world of purity, of sanctity, a world where all come to Brazil.
Alright, so this was not a review. I guess it was a review at the start of the video, but by the middle of it, he just went to his whole universe, I guess, with it. But is Crusader Kings 3 as ridiculous as the 2 was? Because Seth's video was in kind of detail about 2 and how many ridiculous things you can do from it and how stories take place, right? I've never come across any strategy type of game like this, right? Fighting, you know, building empire type of game, which has this kind of a storyline thing. People told me in the comments that developers are really good and their games are literally in one of the top games ever, right? And they are not the indie developers, and you know, they are really good. So I guess it kind of makes sense that, you know, they know how to make this one. I guess Crusader Kings must be famous then among the people who play games like this. But yeah, I remember somebody saying that Crusader Kings 3 is also good, so probably just like 2 but more improved, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, seriously, somebody, you know, there are so many Arma videos, like somebody like Soviet Womble and people play. Somebody should play games like this and just create this kind of ridiculous campaigns and ridiculous stories. Alright people, that was the Gods of Brazil, Crusader Kings 3 by the channel max0r. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the reaction, there's a link in the description, check out the cast, check out the ink cards, and yeah, comment down if you want to react to any specific channel or specific video, and I'll see you next time.